Hey guys, this is Excalibur with Digital Allies Gaming, and I'm bringing you Force of Nature. Force of Nature is a uh, early access survival RPG thing, and it's really unique. It's a really interesting little game, and yeah, we're gonna jump right into it. So it's got a lot going for it. It's got a lot of content, and yeah, I believe it's in the works for co-op multiplayer and whatnot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you a new game, like where we just jumped into a brand new world here, and I'm gonna show you how it starts out and basic concepts, and then I'm gonna take you into my saved game, and you get an idea of what to look forward to. So when you start out, you have quests. So currently, you can find a ruby chip, and you have your characteristics. So I'm currently character level 1. I can only do main damage of 4, alternate damage of 8. I have no armor currently. There is temperature in the game, so there's different biomes, there's different temperatures, so that you're going to have to make different clothing and whatnot in order to survive. There's only 2, you do have to eat in this. You don't have to hydrate necessarily, but you do have to eat. So this is where it gets a little RPG-ish, right? So you have the stamina bar, but the stamina bar is also your food bar, if you will. But food isn't food in the essence that you're getting hungry. Food is in buffs. So different foods give you different... so see, you could just pick stuff. And what I love about this game is you could just pick stuff up with the press all button. And so it makes it really convenient. So you see the banana here. The banana gives me 15 stamina within a 20-second window. So it builds me up to 15 stamina within 20 seconds. So why do you need that? Well, everything you do in this game takes stamina. So if you're mining, if you're chopping down trees, if you're fighting, all these different things, if you're trapping animals, they all require stamina. So stamina becomes the biggest issue. Health as well when you're fighting, but everything is stamina. So there's different foods at different levels that give you the ability to generate stamina. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of, I'm gonna pick up some stuff. Rabbits, really no use. It takes a lot to kill them. I don't currently have a bow. Now, not only can you pick stuff up, but you can also harvest stuff. Little disclaimer, I'm left-handed, so I changed all my buttons to a lefty, so I can't really tell you what the default is because I changed it, but there is a... Oh, you know what? It'll tell you right here. Will it tell you right here? Oh, it's in the crafting? No. Map? No. Okay, so there's a map. Ooh, okay. Yeah, alright. Guess not. But, oh, here we go, look. Yeah. So, if you go down here, you'll see what they are. But, so there's a take all and there's a harvest all. So when you harvest, that's your plants. So you see now it drops. So if I hold down my action button, I have wheat seeds, and you can see there's other stuff around here that I can also pick up. So same thing, wheat seeds. So that's great. You can plant in this game. You can harvest. You need these things in order to feed animals. So you end up catching animals, livestock and whatnot, and you feed them, and in return you get what they generate. So be it milk, be it eggs, different things you need in order to cook. Wool from sheep that you can make clothing with. So yeah, everything has a purpose in this game, and everything is pretty much harvestable. These rocks, this is iron ore right here. There's like 4 different types of rocks in the game. There's regular rocks, which give you stone. There's iron ore, which gives you iron. There's copper and tin ore, which give you those corresponding minerals. And then you actually have to combine tin and copper in order to make bronze ingots. And I haven't gotten up to steel yet. But you also get coins that are dropped by the enemies when you fight them, and those coins can be melted down into either gold or copper. So it's different ways to do things. You need the whole combination in order to survive. There's different patches of dirt and whatnot. This is soil, so if I was to get a digging stick, I could get soil. This is clay right here. So yeah, so let's do that. We're gonna so when you start out, so I got 8 sticks here. Let's see if I can build anything yet. So yeah, stone knife. Ooh, not enough resources. So I need to make rope. So to make rope, you need these ferns, right? Okay, I need a splinter. So I guess I need to find a splinter. There we go. Yeah, the splinter's here. Oh, right, I just need to choose it, sorry. So yeah, so I can make 2 rope. So it's going to go ahead and craft. So you can craft on yourself. You have to do that in the beginning. But eventually you'll get workstations and stuff that you can craft on. Makes crafting more efficient. So, okay, so now that I've crafted that, I'm going to craft my stone knife. Oh, sorry. I needed to, you actually have to take out of the queue here. And it's been a little bit since I've played the very beginning here, so you got to bear with me a little bit. So I got a stone knife here. Alright, so that's going to craft. Have my ruby chip there, which does absolutely nothing for me until I get the altar, but it's pretty to look at. Alright, so I'm going to take that and I'm going to put that in my fast access. Now what's cool for now is the fast access isn't part of your inventory. It's like its own separate thing. And somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but if you put things in here, you don't lose them when you die. Which, I haven't found that to happen yet, and I've died a lot, so... I don't know, I could be wrong, but I tend to put all my food in here. So the higher end food that takes me forever to cook, I put them in here. You know, A, because I use them a lot to where I need them for quick access, but also because I don't want to lose them. So when you die, you go back to the beginning area, and you lose random stuff. So you don't lose everything at all, you just lose a few random stuff. But there's definitely been times where I've lost, you know, the most important things. So, you know, if you find stuff of value or you see yourself accumulating like a lot of ore or something when you're on a trip, you know, if you're able, it might be worth going back and, you know, dropping that stuff off in case you feel like you're going to die. So I got my knife for now, so I can do some limited mining here. Oh no, I can't with this, so I need to kick. So you use your right clicker, and you could start out by kicking in order to gather. Okay, so it just gives you a little limited amount. It doesn't allow you to actually take it down. Same with the trees, I believe. So, you know, just dropping the bananas. Bananas give you stamina. So you can see my stamina bar is going down pretty drastically here. You know, I'm getting stuff, but it's very limited. And you're not getting the actual tree, which I need that wood to make stuff. So I have sticks. So, alright, I mean, for fun, let's just do it right here. But okay, so the first thing that I want to craft... okay, I can't really craft anything. So I'm going to go ahead and go to construction. Create a bonfire. So bonfire, get 8 sticks, 1 glowing ember, or any gem. Oh, okay, see. So yeah, see, it's been a while. I forgot you needed that ruby chip in order to make a fire. So it gives you this nice little grid, and you can just kind of plop it anywhere you want, and then it has a crafting timer, how long it takes to craft stuff. Bigger stuff obviously takes a little longer, whatnot, but bonfire is pretty quick. So there we go. So you don't have to feed the fire. It magically stays lit all the time. So that's kind of interesting. When you know, if you're used to playing Rust and 7 Days and these other things where you gotta constantly feed a fire, it's kind of funny, but you know, you get used to it. So yeah, so in here I can kill that rabbit. I could cook down the meat if I want to. I need to make jugs and melting pots for the higher workstations, like your the furnace and, you know, some of the other stuff, the coal smoker. I'll need these different components for the cooking station as well. The most important thing you use the bonfire for is your glowing embers. So you actually have to put logs in there, and well, it takes 3 sticks. And yeah, that's right, it takes sticks, and then you get the glowing embers. So once you get the coal smoker going, you need these glowing embers in order to make coal along with logs. And use the coal in order to use in the blast furnace to make your ingots. So Yeah, there's a method to everything. So when you find yourself starting out, you're not really in danger of the elements as far as enemies, especially if you decide to start in the beginning area. No bad guys really spawn right here, so you're pretty much good. So I found that until I reached about level 7 or 8, I just had an open area. And, you know, once I hit 9, I was like, alright, let me clean this up a little bit and make a little area here. So I walled it off with the palisades. But yeah, I literally just kind of lined up my workstations around me. And, you know, it gave me the ability to kind of look around and do what I have to do in a close proximity. Once you get to where you're getting the animals and stuff, then you can, you know, you're going to need a little pen to put them in. Otherwise, they'll just wander around and whatnot. So like, you know, use this strawberry. I'm full, so, but, you know, you eat that, and strawberry gives you 7 health in 10 seconds, and you can see this little food meter. That means I can't eat again until I've expended that, so. I got some strawberry seeds here, so I can actually plant that down the line once I get a plant bed going. Coconut gives me stamina. Bananas give me stamina. So, all these different things that you can get right away. You could feed chickens with wheat seeds, as well as roosters. And you can also obviously grow wheat. You feed animals with wheat. So that's always important. You can also make flour with wheat, which you'll need to make the later food. Yeah, but, you know, I find it's a pretty big inventory. I haven't yet really filled it to where, you know, I need to go back. You can see, get new level is my next quest here. So let's see if I could just do that now. I need, there we go. Yeah, so level 2. I just needed to make rope and that, so that's settled. Alright, so now that that's done, I can now make glowing embers. I can now fry meat. I can make my tools, so I can make a stone axe. I need more rope. I can make a stone pick. I could use that to mine ore, and I could make a digging stick in order to dig into the earth to get different resources. So this is when you start accumulating a little bit of stuff. You start doing your digging, you start doing your different things. I recommend getting a decent supply of everything, cutting back some of these ferns and making a bunch of rope, cutting down some trees. You'll get more than enough coconuts and bananas to sustain stamina. There's also sunflower fields. Yeah, see right up here? There's some sunflower over here. So these seeds give you instant stamina as well. So, you know, it's a numbers game. You expend stamina in order to get the stuff, but it ends up paying off in the long run. So just, you know, devote some time to doing some basic mining of resources in the beginning times, and things will just really fall into place. I believe the quest, yeah, so you just have to craft tools and create some glowing embers for level 2. Eventually you get to where you gotta fight some enemies, and, you know, different things are required in order to level up. Not only are there quests, but even at the end you have to do some stuff. So I need 5 glowing embers, 3 logs, and 3 stone, and 10 sand to go to the next level. And they take those things from you when you get to the next level. So just know that. So there's different requirements, like you gotta kind of pay to level type deal, on top of the quest that you need in order to get to the next level. So, you know, and it gets bigger and bigger as you go. So yeah, so I mean, this is kind of the beginning area. I'm not really going to venture too much further in this world. You know, it'll take a while for me to get up there, and, you know, it's just really basic stuff, especially if you've played a lot of this. The real trick is to get used to the camera view and get used to the tactics of fighting. And I'll maybe make a second video of me going out and actually mining at a higher level, and you can get an idea as to what I'm talking about. You know, there's bows, there's different weapons, and they give you the ability to do different tactics, along with the actual world around you. So one of the most important things about this game as far as tactics is you can't walk through stuff. You know, everything, you know, you can't go in between this tree and bush, you can't do these different things. So you need to use that to your advantage when you're getting attacked. There tends to be mobs of enemies, and this is at low level and high level. So you start out with trolls, and there might be 2 or 3 trolls that'll run at you at once. And at your low level and your ability, you're going to die. You're not going to be able to take them all at once. So you need to try to, you know, funnel them in to where you're only taking one at a time. Or you need to kite, or you need to, but you can't really kite in the beginning because all the weapons force you to be stationary. So Yeah, kiting's not even really a thing. You just kind of have to aggro them very slowly. So, just like in most games, you have an aggro field, and, you can just slowly make your way up, and you can try to aggro that one enemy. But even sometimes you'll end up getting the second enemy anyway, so you gotta be prepared for that. You gotta watch your health meter and make sure that you have food that can regenerate. In the beginning levels, mushrooms are your best friend. You find mushrooms, you harvest all of them because they give you free health. So you can see the mushroom. Well, these are panther caps. Those are actually used way later in the game. But there's good mushrooms around here. I just don't know where they are. It being random. Here's an apple tree. Gives you apples, obviously. But yeah, take those mushrooms and put them in your fast access and just spam those when you're fighting. And yeah, you should be able to generate enough life to sustain like 1 or 2 trolls in the beginning, but it's pretty hard. It's a learning curve. Yeah, so we're gonna go out of this and we're gonna go into the my main world here. There's a little ode to Guild Wars. So see, I've died 16 times. No joke. This is my first game, so in the beginning I was, I tend to be the one that's kind of a little more gun-ho. I just like to jump into shit and figure it out. So it's kind of what happened. But I don't feel bad about it. It's a single-player game. Not a stat whore. So yeah, so this is level 9. That trolls with me. You actually eventually are able to capture enemy and they'll fight for you. So he's kind of guarding. But yeah, I mean, you could see how big it becomes. And I'm only level 9, so I'm not even max level or anything. But I've caught all these animals. All these animals give me, sheep give me wool, cows got milk, goats got milk. So I've got chickens in here that are giving me eggs and whatnot. And I use those things in my cooking stations in order to, right now I'm cooking flour. So I need flour in order to make apple pies. So apple pies give me 80 health. So like when I was showing you the mushrooms only give you 7 health, I think. So these are giving you 80 health every time you eat one. And when you get to the higher levels, you get hit pretty hard, so you need these things. So you have that. I also have meat pie. Gives you 110, plus it gives you 30 stamina. So this is a big thing, but you need the meat. So you actually have to be actively killing animals in order to get that. Herbal tea. You need this in order to remove poison, which you get poisoned by certain bad guys. Butter. All these things are elements of these bigger things. So chocolate, huge stamina boost. That's all I use is chocolate. So if you see here, I've got some stuff stocked up. Coffee, butter, and what else? Coffee, butter, and sugar. So coffee is coffee. You grow it in your plant beds here. So you just plant that, and boom, coffee seeds and water. Butter, you get that from milk, so you just feeding these animals with wheat, and you're getting the milk, and then you turn it into butter over there. And sugar, you can get from honey, or you can get it from sugar, which you actually get from cane, sugar cane, or bamboo. Water you get from your wells. The other thing I like about this game is it doesn't allow you to mass produce on a large scale at all. Like, you have to earn what you do. And this is where co-op's going to be fun because, most games like Rust, 7 Days, different games, I mean, you have your workstations, but once you get to a point, it's just excess. You're just filling boxes to fill boxes. It's not needed anymore. I haven't reached a point where I'm accumulating a mass amount of anything other than maybe stone. And I'm going to need that stone eventually to make, the different tiered whatever, right? So, yeah, I mean, everything's used, and it's pretty much, you have to devote equal amounts of time in your base than you do outside of your base. So I need to actively gather ingots and not ingots, but ore in order to cook them down in my furnaces. But, I can't just come here and go, okay, cook 100 ore and, yeah, I'm going to have a bunch of ingot. Nah, doesn't work like that. you have to get the embers. So you gotta cook embers in here. You gotta get the coal in here, and then once you get the coal in here, then you go over here and you put your ore. And oh, you don't have enough coal because you've only got 100 coal, and so you're just constantly having to devote time to these different workstations. But when you're out and about, you can't do that. So that's what I'm saying. It's not. Yeah, I could leave flour to cook, and that'll take a long ass time because it's flour. But yeah, there's not a lot of things I could do that with in this game. So I just love that they put value in crafting time. It's part of the game. So if you don't enjoy it, it's like half the game. So you got to start enjoying it. But all these workstations are really cool. They have higher tiered tools that you have to put in them. So you start out with like wood and stone tools, and then you progress to iron, eventually steel. You have these different tiered buildings. They're prefabs too. It's not like I sat here and built them twig by twig. But yeah, you craft them, and you start out with little huts and progress up to brick eventually. But there's certain workstations that you have to put in buildings, so they're required. So it's a balance. I've always been one in all these games for efficiency and making things as small as possible but efficient. That goes across the board from Rust to 7 Days to Space Engineers to anything. I like making stuff small, but that I can do a lot of stuff in. Because I don't like to have to maintain something big, right? So this is the smallest I could do. Like, I couldn't, I could maybe squeeze another couple squares out of this thing, but for the most part, and there's more workstations coming, so I'm gonna need the room. And yeah, I could do everything in this little area here. So that's what I'm about, small and efficient. Yeah, so I got the all these things. As to my point, you can see I have 3 of these bee things, but I started out at a level where I can only make 1. The next level allowed me to make an additional 1. The next level allowed me to make an additional 1. So I'm at my max with these. I'd love to have 10 wells, but I can't. I got 3. And I constantly got to be looking at them to, oh, hey, there's more water. So once it reaches 5, that's it. So grab it while you have it, right? These take a lot longer, so it's only at 2 right here. But yeah, when you're feeding animals, planting, that's a full-time job. You're you're not standing still. I mean, you're constantly feeding these damn things, and then you run out of wheat, and then you're planting wheat, and then at the same time you're getting the water to plant the wheat and to feed the animals, and the whole time you're thinking about, yeah, I really got to get out there and like mine some ore and stuff. So it's a 2-man game, and I can't wait for it to be a 2-man game because it's gonna be a lot of fun. When 2 people are in here, because one person will be in here, and my buddy Big Boy is gonna be in here. He's gonna be doing his thing. He's gonna be efficient. And, we'll trade off. I'll go out there, I'll mine, I'll do what I need to do, kill some baddies and whatnot. And then, we'll switch off and he'll do that. And, yeah, so we'll both go out at times. So, I think it'll, once co-op happens, it's going to make the game a lot more versatile. But don't be mistaken. I mean, there's a lot to do in this game. And I haven't ran out of stuff to do yet. So, I got my altar here where you can make your different buffed amulets and whatnot. I've gotten to the point where I can make these now. They take 5 chips to make 1 complete stone, and then in turn I can make the finer amulets once I get to the next level, and even better amulets, and it's all buffs and stuff. So it's all little parts of RPG and whatnot, which is cool. I really like it, and I hope they I hope it gets even better. I hope they introduce a lot more elements of magic and different things to that effect, because that'll be cool. Because I'm sure there's a game out there that I don't even know about that's like this, but this is the first game I've seen that's incorporated this mass hysteria of survival games, but then added the richness of a RPG world. And I actually even like the being a big Diablo fan from 1 all the way to 3. This doesn't faze me with the camera view. It's more tactical. As far as I need to slow down, I need to take my time and aggro stuff according to what I'm capable of taking down. So yeah, I love it. Now you can just drop crap on the ground and it doesn't despawn, which is they just added a trash can very recently, like yesterday. So I actually need to get one so I could trash all these old things. I got my old swords, my stone digging sticks and whatnot, and just stuff I'll never use. But you literally can't do anything with it. You just gotta kind of throw it on the ground. So now there's a trash can, so now I can throw it away forever, but you know, it's been there for a while, and you know, I'm a sentimental guy, so I might just leave it there. It's just kind of cool, you know. I could look at it later, and I could pick them up and throw them back down, and you know, memoriam of my earlier times 3 weeks ago. Yeah, but anyway, so this is it. Yeah, this is kind of it. So, you know, I don't see myself making too many videos on this. I'll probably make one more video where I'm going out and I'm gathering and whatnot, but, you know, more or less, this is the gist of it for now. I mean, you know, you have your quests, and you have to get these Forces of Nature shards in order to make a complete Force of Nature. I don't know what that is yet. I'm not one to delve into endgame talk, and you know, I don't really want to know what it's about until I get there. That's kind of my playstyle. I enjoy being surprised by things in the game. I'm not one that sits there and reads developers' notes and stuff. And you know, once I get to a certain point in the game, yeah, maybe. But when I'm just starting a new game out, I like to really see if the game helps me discover things. But I don't like my handheld. But you know, I do like the way the quests are set. I do like it that it makes you a well-rounded player. I know how to do everything because I've had to do everything with quests, so I do like that. It's a different kind of game though. Like in 7 Days to Die, I don't like that because it takes me out of my immersion into the world. You know, when I'm sitting here doing weird quests, I'm like, you know, quests. I'm trying to survive the zombie apocalypse, right? So it's a little different in here. This game, there's a lot to it as far as your stats and whatnot. So yeah, I really like it. I'm gonna get to endgame and you know, see what's in store for me after. But this is kind of that little game that I've been playing. You know, when I don't have a solid game that I'm checking out right now. So pretty happy with it. Yeah, so stay tuned for my next video. I'll go out and I'll do some mining and do some different stuff, and you know, show you some tactics of fighting and whatnot. So yeah, take care. This is Excalibur from Digital Allies Gaming.